Gina bro Yamen. Me like story lik long come long Pastor Mike na Sara David na Lynn. Only been come long Papua New Guinea long 2012 long Isipik province and Moram district. Na go get long one place inside long Caramelensi and place Yamen. Time only been come all looking all same planting need stuff long side belong on mama and a baby at the same time one bla mama been kissing baby already long time belong mama long Karen time come up this bla baby need long go long necessary Sarah looking all same na go back na sit down na finding thinking na way long try help him Yamen community na Caramelensi. Come up in one little group, only call him living child.
So living child, now 10 years on. I think back to the first trip we had, and I remember going to the Perth airport about 10 o'clock at night, I think, and you travel overnight to Brisbane. I think it was Brisbane. And then off to Moresby the next morning, quite early. And then stay in Moresby for a few hours, out to Madang, and then to Wewak. We arrived in Wewak maybe 5 p.m, 6 p.m, it was getting dark. And we'd seen the brochures for the Seaview Hotel. We thought, this is great, after a long trip, we can just lock in there. Anyway, we got there, just dark, no lights, no water, nothing worked. We had a pretty disappointing meal. And I remember our hopes were kind of dashed, and we got to the point after the meal, tears began to flow, and I had myself, Sarah and Lynn, and we just sat there kind of a bit despondent. But it was amazing that Yabru, our friend from PNG, he came and encouraged us and basically said, things are going to be all right. This has been a tough first day, but it's going to be all right. It was kind of a bit dodgy back then. We didn't have a lot of infrastructure. We just went into the distance and just took off on the promise that we could hopefully listen to some people and make a difference in their lives. Next morning we got up, the car was due at about 6, I think it got there at 10, this is like PNG time, and we took off. And one of the photos you might see on the website has the mist, and we're sort of driving into this mist, and it was like entering this adventure into the jungles of PNG. Got to a place called Angoram, got on the boat. About 10 hours later, we arrived in Yamen. And as we arrived there, we kind of looked up and we saw this big sign, and some people were gathering, they were making noises, drums started beating along the river. And when we moved up, we moved through this kind of a doorway, and there was an incredible group of people who were celebrating and singing, giving us an incredible welcome, and they had all sorts of tribal costumes on. Amazing to be welcomed like that to people there. And as we went to the village, it was amazing to see the people and the kids and the little babies, palm trees, people climbing like 30 meters up a palm tree for coconuts. Incredible setting, beautiful green lawns. And then Sarah had some meetings with the ladies and started to listen, and the stories were of grief and sorrow and difficulty and struggle, and that's really what we're there for, to hear the struggles of the people and to see whether we can make a difference. So after hearing all these stories, we met some lovely people. John and Gina were fantastic. They looked after us. We had food at every meal. They just were so amazing in terms of looking after us. I remember they gathered some pigs, and we had a feast at the end of this time. There's a little toilet we call the Lick Lick House, and it was quite amazingly the number of spiders in there at night time. So you always took a torch, and you always kind of were careful of what was going on. It's an amazing context, so different than what we're used to. But seeing the needs of the people, it really confirmed in our hearts that this was an amazing opportunity. We felt that God had called us into this space, and that we were answering a need, and that there was a real sense of purpose and destiny to it. We were given gifts. I remember getting a staff that was carved, and Sarah and Lynn, I think, got storyboards. Amazing things that the people were so generous in such difficult circumstances, and they welcomed us with such open arms. And it was amazing to see the context and the support we had from back home. People wanted to encourage us and trying to get back and tell the story as much as we could. Got back to Port Moresby, had a pie of all things, which of course made Sarah sick on the way home. It was quite difficult. Relief to get home and come back into Australia and see this vastly different world where everything seemed ordered and things worked and things were on time. And PNG really is a place where, especially in the remote areas, a lot of that doesn't happen. Incredibly grateful for the time, all the support we've had over the years. Sarah's been an amazing leader. She took up the challenge of going to PNG and beginning to make a difference. And so many people have joined us. Lynn on that first trip. And so many others have joined us in teams over the years. Thank you all. It's been an amazing ride. We look forward to, doing more. We're probably better equipped now. We've got more supporters. Thank you for all those who've been involved. And we look forward to the future of Living Child, 10 years on, and looking forward to another 10 years. And hopefully in that time, we'll be able to make a bigger difference.